Good evening, and welcome to the South Burlington Development Review Board for Tuesday, August 5th. Where did the summer go? My name is Dawn Philibert. I'm the chair of the DRB, and I'd like to introduce the other members. Quinn Mann, Ted Lenski, Frank Kochman, Jody Lesko. Between Lesko and Lenski, it's right, exactly. It's hard enough. Charlie Johnston, Mark Baer, and to my right are staff Marla Keene and Betsy Brown. Thank you for being here tonight. This meeting is being recorded. So there are a number of ways to participate in this meeting. You can attend in person, as you have, or you can attend virtually, either online or by phone. If you're here in person, it's important that you sign in up back on the sign-in sheet to document your participation. And if you're online, please put your contact information in the chat box to register your participation. And if you're calling in by phone, please send your contact information to mkene@southburlingtonvt.gov. So thank you. Let's start with agenda item number 1, and these are the emergency evacuation procedures. As they say on a plane, in the unlikely event of an emergency, there are doors in each corner of the auditorium. You would exit through one of those doors and either turn right or left, and you would be outside. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes in the order of agenda items? No? Okay. Are there any announcements or reminders? No? Okay. Announcement to the board. We will be staying after the meeting to look at some draft reports, decisions. Okay, are there any comments and questions from the public that are not related to the agenda? Hearing none, we will move on to agenda item number 5. Pardon me. And that is continued master plan application MP 2501 of the City of Burlington, Patrick Leahy Burlington International Airport, to amend a master plan for an approximately 901.6 acre existing.
I hate him because they breathe. I hate him because they're scum.
The amendment consists of an addition of adding.
Hang on. So in order to stop what was happening there, I suspended everything, including town meeting TV. So just give me a second to let them back in.
Okay. Has this been happening lately?
No, I think that some of the applications on this agenda attracted some attention.
Okay.
You're not going to let them back in, right?
I am submitting the report.
Come on, Mark. Let's hear it.
And I can let town meeting TV back in. So what happens here? I think I've muted everyone. I can unmute town meeting TV just themselves without unmuting anyone else. Let's give that a try. And then if the folks from Santec and then the applicant from later needs to speak, we'll unmute them at that time. You good back there?
Yeah, is there a way to enable the video?
I don't know if I can enable just you. Let me see. I can make you co-host. Okay.
Well done, Marla. I don't know who you beat me or I beat you. All right, we ready?
Ready.
Okay. The amendment consists of adding a 14,200 square foot hangar in a location at the south end of the master plan area, accessed via Aviation Ave at 1200 Airport Drive. Who is here for the applicant, please?
Larry Lackey.
Hi, Larry.
And Jackie DeJess with EIV Technical Services.
Hi, Jackie. Anyone else? No. Okay, let's swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. This is what I'm going to call kind of a drive-by review of this application because there are no red comments and we simply had to keep this open so we could take in some of the information you sent us. So I am going to ask the board if you have any questions. Okay. And if not, I'm going to ask if there's any public comment. Any members in the audience that have public comment or online?
If there's members online, I don't see any hands raised.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to, let me get the number here. To close MP 2501.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Charlie. Any discussion? All in favor of closing MP 2501, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I believe you can stay seated because aren't we moving? Oh, okay. All right. Good evening.
Hello.
Okay, moving on. Site plan application SB 2527 of the City of South Burlington, Patrick Leahy, Burlington International Airport, to construct a portion of Phase 2 of concurrent master plan amendment for an approximately 901.6 acre existing airport complex. The phase consists of constructing an approximately 13,800 square feet hangar in a location at the south end of the associated master plan at 240 Eagle Drive. Who is here for the applicant, please?
Chris Gendron, Stantec.
Alex Gagnon with Beta Technologies.
Alex?
Alex, yep.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Larry Lackey with the airport.
Oh, okay. Good.
Work this and I don't. There we go. And also Cynthia Sylvie, Wagner Hansen.
What is your name again?
Cynthia Sylvie.
Thank you. Okay. Would you all raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear to, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you guys need me to unmute Riley at all, or are they okay?
Nope.
Okay. Just here for the ride.
Okay.
Okay. I saw they had a member of their team online.
Okay, good.
Hi, Riley.
So you've read the staff report, and I think there are 5 comments. So unless you have anything to say as an introductory comment or two, we'll just go ahead through the questions. Do you have any comments to make at the beginning?
No, I think we can just run through them.
Okay.
Yep.
And are there any general questions before we start from the board? Okay, good. The first staff comment is about removing the unpermitted project from the tables.
That was completed and delivered tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
That was completed and delivered tomorrow.
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 Oh, to Marla. Okay, thank you.
So Betsy, could you just bring up that supplemental file, and we can flip through those because the first one, because they are sort of in order, I think. Nope, they are not. It is the 3rd page. So, nope, just entering into the record. Okay.
Okay. All right. Moving on to number 2. And number 2 refers to a set of criteria, A and B, on the previous page. And it's about the redesign or the redesign of the architectural details of the building. Staff considers the applicant has responded to the direction of the board and recommends the board discuss whether they consider these criteria to be met. So I would turn, and there's a photograph or an image, likeness of what you plan to build. And I would turn to the board and ask if any of you have any comments about the drawing or the image.
I'll just jump in.
Being our architect, that makes sense. Thank you.
And the one who spoke about it the most last time. But I think, you know, it's certainly an improvement. I'm not going to hold it up on my opinion on this. I wish there was more to it, but I think it's a utilitarian building in the location we're at. We sort of focus on the actual terminal building and we hold that to a higher design standard. I think this being a hangar building, you've dressed up the entranceway, which is the lobby, which is going to be the sort of the public ingress, egress, and sort of added some windows in. So much as I'd love to have seen more, I think it's okay for what we're reviewing here.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Mark, do you believe that it meets the criteria or the suggested criteria in the
Yes,
previous
I
AMD?
do.
Okay, thank you.
One question I have, and I know that, well, maybe this is related to the landscaping, but still shows sort of deciduous trees of larger size. Has that been reviewed and signed off by the airport? We're all good with that? Excellent. Okay. Smaller ones, and I understand they're deciduous, so we'll live with them 6 months out of the year as being bare twigs, but
I think it's more like 8 months of the year, just
we're
saying.
being optimistic. Give it a year or two and we'll be at 6 months, okay? Okay.
I don't think it works that way. I think all the leaves die, whether it's a big plant or a small plant.
Talking about temperature.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the board in terms of whether or not their design conforms to the suggested criteria? Nope. Okay. Number 3. This goes to, does the site amenity comply with the regulations? And the site amenity is the snippet park. And it struck me that the redesign does, but I would entertain other thoughts. Board? No comments? So I'm
agree.
assuming that, okay, good. Okay, number 4. This is regarding the wetlands. I'm going to read this. Staff recommends the board require the applicant to submit documentation which may consist of the previous wetland report demonstrating there are no wetlands in the currently proposed project area.
Just to respond to that, there was a wetland delineation done in 2021 or so for the road, and the wetlands are very far away from this project site.
Okay,
And we provided that report to Marla.
okay. Thank you, Chris. Questions from the board?
So I want to show the
Or staff?
area that was delineated. Keep going. One more page, I think, past there. No, there's a map. That one.
There we go.
Yep. So, Chris, if I'm correct, the project area is sort of where the words Eagle Drive are.
Yes, just to the east of that.
Like where Betsy's cursor is?
Yep.
Okay, and then the project, and then the delineation area, the investigation area, I guess you'd call it, is what's circled in red.
Yep.
So the wetland study that was done didn't quite cover the area of the project, but it did cover most of the non-paved surfaces. So Chris sent this to me after I published the packet, so I didn't have time to incorporate this into the report. So though, you know, you could probably say, well, technically they didn't delineate the wetland in the apron. You could also say, well, they got as close as you reasonably need to. So I wanted to bring it to the board's attention and just make sure that they didn't feel like additional delineation was needed in the green area near where it says Eagle Drive, because that's where the actual project is.
Yeah, the way we would normally do it is there's a map online that recommends whether you do further study, or if you walk by it, you see something that's there. The wetland scientists would have added that to the area, but they didn't because there was nothing there. It's an open mode field.
Any questions, comments? Okay. Number 5, this is regarding the screening by the red twig dogwoods. question is, because they are deciduous trees, they will not have leaves, and will that provide enough screening, do you believe, during the colder winter months of the year? Yes.
Hi, so we have submitted a revised plan that shows the red twig dogwoods around the utility enclosure replaced with arborvitae in response. So despite, how much I like red twig dogwood, we have heard you.
And they do get huge.
They do get huge, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, they're still in the project, just in another place. So the current plan is to have a loose arrangement of the same quantity, approximately 9 Techni arborvitae, which, we intend to plant at a reasonable size, but do not exceed the sort of hard 25-foot limit that we were given for all plant material on the site. So.
Okay. Thank you. Did you have something to say, Marla?
No, I was just, when I looked at this plan earlier today, I misread the call out on those plants, and I was going to say, but you haven't swapped them, but now that I see that you actually have.
Is that reflected in the landscaping estimate too?
It is, yep.
And so in this comment, I missed in the original report, there was also a comment, Betsy, if you leave up what you have now, if you move your cursor down, there's sort of a gray box between where you are now and where you were before. It's sort of adjacent to the building. Yep, left of that, not left, that one. So that's a proposed utility cabinet, and that was not screened as part of the original plan. So I worked with Chris and Cynthia between packet publication and now, and they've added screening around that as well. And those are juniper bushes.
They are, yeah. So 4 to 5 foot tall, sort of equal in spread, which is, roughly equivalent to the kind of shorter stature of that transformer vault, which I believed erroneously was completely underground. So sorry, I also missed that.
Okay. Questions from the board?
What's in our packet is not what we're looking at here.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So the former location of the shipping container is the existing utility sort of structure that currently has a little doghouse roof over it. And so the proposal for that going forward, just clean it up and make it secure, is to surround it with a 6-foot high, correct, black chain link fence, which does not provide screening on its own, but provides the security. So that is the role of the arborvitae around the fence.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the end of the staff comments. Now, under the recommendation as it exists here, it says we'll continue the hearing to August 5th, but this being August 5th, I assume that was a typo?
Yep, that was a typo, and they've done a lot of hard work between the packet publication and today, so I would revise that recommendation in any event to say recommend closing the hearing.
Okay. All right. So let's take some public comment first, and then we'll see if we want to close. Are there any members of the audience that would like to make public comments about this project? Are there any online, Betsy?
Not seeing any raised hands.
All right. So I would certainly recommend closure of SP 2527.
So moved.
Thank you. Charlie?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? No? All right. All in favor of closing SP 2527, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Great. Thank you. You will be hearing
Thank
from
you.
us.
So, I have to unmute Kayvon. Are you folks part of the applicant team for Tesla? Okay, if you want to come up, and then I just invited Kayvon to unmute. I think. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Can I let you share your screen, share your video too? I cannot without unlocking the full meeting. So I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to let you disembodied voice, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The next project for our review is site plan application SP2529 of Tesla for an after-the-fact approval to amend a previously approved plan for an automobile sales and service building. The amendment consists of adding outdoor displays or adding an outdoor display at 218 Hannaford Drive. Who is here for the applicant, please? Michael?
There's a button. It'll make the light turn bright green. There you go.
Michael Seeger.
That's much
There it
better.
is.
Thank you.
And William Port.
Thank you.
And then I think, Kayvon, you're part of the team as well.
Yes, and Kayvon online.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, please, all of you? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Thank you. Okay, so this is a pretty simple amendment. So what we actually have in front of us is not a staff report, it's a draft decision that later on the board will discuss and either approve or not approve. So I want to go through the report. I think there's only one red area that questions the, well, first of all, I have a question. Why was the display not part of the initial application?
I would say it was this is Kayvon, a mistake. Originally when they filed, I think it was like a misunderstanding of what would and what wasn't allowed. So now we're coming back retroactively and correcting that.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to read this. Staff indicated to the board that the applicant has installed lockable gates across some of the vehicular access points to the lot. 15A, 10A, 5C prohibits gated access to neighborhoods in all circumstances and is not a waivable criteria. The board finds the applicant must remove the installed gates prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the outdoor storage.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that those gates have been removed.
Okay, very good. Okay, questions from the board before we turn to public comment?
Yeah.
Yes, Ted.
I guess I feel it's a pretty big oversight to go from an outdoor display. It just feels odd that I guess my experience is when an oversight occurs, it's kind of frustrating to someone who's trying to approve something to see something to me this significant as just missed. Is there any more background or color you can add to how that
Right,
me, an impression
we tried
was so
looking into
big?
that, and then the individuals who are part of that decision making, who originally applied for the initial, zoning, they're no longer with the company, and unfortunately, don't have much more background information than that.
Yeah, and I would just clarify for Will and myself, we're more on the operations side, working at the locations and with employees, whereas Kayvon is more on the development and planning side, so he would have a little bit more insight into that.
Any more questions or?
Yeah, I got one question. Right now it's showing sort of like a bubbled area and said approximately 75 to 100 unregistered vehicles at any one time. Is that just sort of the general area that you're planning on having display vehicles in, or is it going to be mixed with customer parking? Or is it going to be more structured, or is it just you need that space because clearly you've got unsold vehicles on the lot?
Yeah, so those spaces will be for the unregistered vehicles. So when customers are coming on site, they can visually go and look and touch and feel those vehicles. There are still customer vehicles that are being serviced that will be on the lot. But again, this is specifically for the unregistered vehicles pre-delivery for customers to come and see.
How many automobiles do you expect to have on the display?
So we're pretty fortunate that when vehicles are on site, they move pretty quickly. I think we're being pretty conservative in saying we would need 75 to 100. I don't think, and Will is on site more often than I, he would probably confirm that It's very rare that we have that many on site at one time. But obviously, we didn't want to get to a point where we lowball it and then have to go back to this again. So I would say, we would pretty much always be under that number because when vehicles do get on site, they move pretty quickly.
Okay. Questions?
I have a question. I didn't understand how the front of the building parking was it permitted in the first place? Did it slide through? Or is that a violation
It was
of their
it was a
permit?
pre-existing nonconformity. So the building, if you recall, used to be a Hannaford
I'm
supermarket.
sorry, would you say?
It was a pre-existing nonconformity. If you recall, the building used to be Hannaford supermarket, and that was
Yes.
developed before the rule about no parking in the front.
Okay, so they inherited a nonconformity, and then from our perspective, even though we're trading cars for cars, it's essentially technically a reduction in the nonconformity because we're calling it display instead of parking.
Yeah, or if you don't like it that way, you could call it keeping the same degree of nonconformity.
All right. So they're not increasing the number of spaces, is that right?
Right. They're not proposing any restriping, any rearrangement.
Let's get through it. Right?
Okay. Any other questions before we turn to public comment? All right. Are there any, well, there's no one here. Is there anyone online that has any public comments to offer? Nope. Okay. Good. Then I would entertain a motion to close this hearing. Thank you, Frank.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Thank you. You will be hearing from us. Thank you.
And then, so the last item on the agenda, the project is ineligible for approval, so there's not actually a hearing scheduled. We just left it on there because some of the warnings had in fact gone out, so we
Right.
wanted it to be clear what had happened. So I think that brings us to number 9 on the agenda.
Yes, minutes.
Minutes.
Okay.
You've got them.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? Okay. I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Thank you, Quinn. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay. Thank you. And any other business?
Enjoy your August recess.
Yes, but don't move out of your seat quite yet.
All right. So
Thank you. The meeting is now adjourned.